Good morning everybody from Melbourne International Airport. My name is Hugo and today we're going to be taking a flight on one of Virgin Australia's 737s in the older business class from here in Melbourne up to Sydney. I took a flight in their newer business class recently and I thought it was great, so I'm interested to see what flying in their older business class is like in 2025. So come along and let's find out. The check-in area is pretty much just as usual. There is a priority baggage drop and check-in area which I was able to use thanks to being in business class today, which I wasn't originally going to be in, but I bid for an upgrade and got it. I'll talk about that more later. Printing out a boarding pass was easy as usual. For domestic flights, though Virgin Australia's check-in is in Terminal 3, security is kind of in Terminal 4. It was good to see that there was priority security today because there was a bit of a line. Security was quick thanks to having priority. Now let's go and take a look at the Virgin Australia lounge here, which I had access to thanks to my business class ticket. I thought that the selection was probably a little bit better than usual. With toasties and waffles, those are two things I haven't seen in the Virgin Australia lounge I don't think before. Though the waffles weren't particularly fresh. At times there was a decent line for coffee on this morning though, which isn't that surprising. I love the space and just the vibe of this lounge. As usual, I still think it's one of the best domestic lounges in Australia. This lounge has got good views too. On this occasion I had a great view of my ride to Sydney, which was Victor Hotel Yankee Foxtrot Foxtrot, a 2011 built Boeing 737-8FE delivered new to Virgin Australia. Now let's head to the gate.
Hello everyone, tickets travelling to Sydney on VH-817. Boarding's about to begin at gate number 2. Place all small bags under the seat in front of you.
Boarding started just slightly early I believe, and there was priority for those eligible. Thank you.
Morning, how are you?
Good, thanks, how are you?
Good, on the business class, just on the left when you can, thank you.
Welcome on board one of Virgin Australia's 737-800s with the older cabin, which definitely looked noticeably more tired to me. In business class, this aircraft features 8 B/E Aerospace Spectrum first seats in a 2-2 configuration. A noticeable difference between this older cabin is the privacy divider between business and economy, which in economy, by the way, there's 168 seats. Each business class seat features an adjustable headrest. My seat for this flight was 2F. Now let's take a look at the rest of the seat features. Legroom is good, but pretty standard for a business class seat. I'm pretty sure it's similar to the new business class seat. Then just here there's a standard seat back pocket containing some literature. In the armrest you'll find the tray table, which can be used half opened or fully opened, and can be adjusted back and forth. Just here there's a little cocktail table which you can pull out. And there's the recline button. There's no storage in that area, unlike the newer business class seat from memory. There does seem to be a universal power socket for every business class seat, and behind this last row there seems to be a place to store coats. Welcome drinks of water or orange juice was offered once most people were on board. I went for an orange juice. By the way, the business class cabin was full on this flight.
Nicholson, Effie and the team, welcome aboard flight 817 through to Sydney. We're just finalising the last departure formalities before we do get underway. Once we get going, we have a flight time of 1 hour and 4 minutes. But for now, please sit back, relax, enjoy the flight service from Effie and the team. Once again, welcome aboard.
It's now time for pushback, about a minute behind schedule.
Welcome to your Virgin Australia flight. It's wonderful to have you aboard. Keeping you safe is our top priority. So before we take off, please give us your attention as we share important safety information and help us to create a safe and enjoyable flight. It's in the toilets, which have smoke detectors and alarms. You may continue using your handheld devices as long as you have switched them to flight mode. From everyone at Virgin Australia, have a wonderful flight.
By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far and you'd like to see more videos like it, then please consider liking and subscribing. It would help me and the channel out so much and would be very much appreciated. But if you don't want to, that's completely okay. It's now time for takeoff on runway 16. When the crew came around to taking breakfast orders, they showed people the options on a tablet or something like that. I believe the breakfast options were a vegetable frittata or bacon with scrambled eggs. I went with the latter. We were then also asked what drink we wanted. The scrambled eggs came alongside some baked beans, some roasted potatoes or something, and the bacon. Okay, so I was actually quite surprised at how good these scrambled eggs were. I mean, I've had better at cafes, but I've had worse. And this is not a cafe, so considering that, this was really good. I was happy with the texture of the scrambled eggs and they were tasty. And the things that came along with it were tasty as well. It was a tasty breakfast I enjoyed more than I expected. After my last Virgin Australia business class flight, I thought there might have been something else after this, but there wasn't any more food other than the main meal. I'm guessing I could have got something if I asked for it though. I got an English breakfast tea with milk to go with it, and that was good too.
To Sydney this morning, just commenced descent from 33,000 feet. Conditions a short time ago on the ground in Sydney were a temperature of 22 degrees, some light sunny breeze, and some clouds and showers in the area. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on board.
Virgin Australia normally offers streaming entertainment, and for its business class passengers, Wi-Fi is free. But on this flight I wasn't even able to get the entertainment to work for me, but I saw it working for other people, so I don't know what was going on. I checked out the recline and I didn't think it was great for business class. There was also no leg rest or foot rest, it seemed, which surprised me a bit. As we're already descending into Sydney after quite a quick flight time, please allow me to conclude this flight with Virgin Australia, up until the lounge in Sydney because I did get lounge access on arrival. Boarding pass reprint in Melbourne was easy and security was good. The lounge there was great. Again, I think that the offerings were slightly better than my last few times there. Boarding was fine. The seat did the job for a 1-hour business class flight, but it's not a modern seat and the new one's definitely better in my opinion. Except for the privacy divider, which I wish they kept in the new cabin. So I don't know, there's pros and cons to the new cabin and the old cabin. There wasn't heaps of food in terms of quantity, but I thought that the main meal was excellent for a short flight. One of the better brekkie meals I've had on a plane. So the in-flight service overall was great for a short flight. While they weren't rude, unfriendly or anything, the crew today weren't quite as friendly as I feel is usual on VA. Still friendly, but just not particularly noticeably. So overall, I had a really great experience with Virgin Australia. If you'd like to hear my thoughts on domestic Virgin Australia business versus Qantas, I went through that in my recent video of Virgin's new business class. As for my upgrade, I had the option before the flights to bid for one, and I think the starting price might have been $65. I bid $85 and got the upgrade. I think I was informed about it about a day before the flight, but I think in some cases you can only be notified 3 hours before departure. But I think it was absolutely worth the $85 upgrade in my case, because I was on a Lite fare, and I would do it again. We'll soon pull into the gate in Sydney about 10 minutes early, so this flight was pretty punctual, which is good. But for now, please enjoy the rest of the approach and landing on Sydney Kingsford Smith International Airport's runway 16 right.
Welcome to Sydney, where the local time is 4 minutes to 9. For everyone's safety, please keep your seatbelt fastened and the aisles and exits clear until the seatbelt signs are switched off. Remember to take care when opening overhead lockers and please make sure you have everything with you before you leave. At this stage, we'll be leaving it through the forward and the rear doors. If you're leaving through the rear door, you'll have stairs to go down, so please mind your step as you exit. Hold on to the handrails and remain on the outside of any bunkers on the tarmac. Choose and fly Virgin Australia, so they've been a pleasure looking after on board. On behalf of your crew, wish you a safe onward journey. Hope to see you again soon. Thank you and good morning.
Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross check.
From memory, business class passengers were let off the plane first. Now let's go and take a look at the Virgin Australia Sydney lounge, because with the business class ticket you get lounge access on arrival, which I think is great. I do think that VA have levelled up their food offerings in their lounges. I thought that there was a good selection in this lounge today. The stuff I had was decent too. I think that the facilities at this lounge are good as well. They also had the second level, which is level 4, open on this occasion, which was cool to see. It wasn't busy, so there was only basic offerings compared to downstairs, but it was a lot quieter and a nice space with great views. The lounge in general when I got there was pretty busy but not crazy, but better when I left, and I didn't think that the amount of people was bothersome. So overall, a great lounge access on arrival experience. I'd like to take this time to thank you all so much for watching this video. I'd also like to thank all of my incredible Patreons for helping to make these videos possible. Their support is truly so much appreciated, and I couldn't do what I do without them, so thank you so much to them. Once again, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in my next one next Saturday at 5 PM Melbourne time.